Hey guys, I'm back again and I have for you today a review of Eteka, Rise of the Imamba. Okay, now I'm going to read you what I was sent in this little press release. It says, welcome to the world of Eteka, Rise of the Imamba, a powerful set of connected stories that spans two timelines, the Cold War tensions of the 1950s and the post-Cold War era of the 1990s. Eteka, Rise of the Imamba is a dark, action-packed thriller that follows multiple characters across 14 locations around the world and will appeal to readers that enjoy history, suspense, fantasy, and world cultures. It is an original and unusual piece of literary fiction in the fact that it seamlessly fuses African, Asian, European, and American cultures into an unforgettable reading experience. Okay. So I was sent this book for review from Ben Henson, and I have to say I found that it was a good book, but not more than that. I beg to differ when it says it's literary fiction. It's not literary fiction. It's not fantasy either. I did like the fact that we travel around to the different, cities all over the world, Asia, Africa, the US. That was very interesting because he also pulls in a lot of the historical events and cultural aspects of these different places, and it's footnoted at the bottom of the page if you don't know what they are. So that's really good. Now, the thing for me that is bothersome about this book is that it's very much a book that is more adventure, action-packed book. It's like going to see an action film, but it's in a book form. So that takes away this literary fiction aspect of it. There's not a lot of showing, it's mostly telling, which I don't have a problem with that in essence. I mean, some stories are like that. But I felt like the story would have been better if it was in comic book form, because this book is very interesting in the fact that it has these fantastic drawings of different characters that you meet within the story. There's a lot of characters. In the beginning, you may find it a little difficult to follow that there's so many characters, but by the time you reach page, I'd say 100, 150, you're already used to who's who and, that kind of thing. Now, the book is a whopping 557 pages, which is a tad bit long, but that's only because of the format in which it is published. So instead of there being single space, it's double spaced. The typography isn't that big, and the thing that was the most troublesome for me was having to read the footnotes. These footnotes are just way too small, and that made for a little problematic reading in my case because I wear glasses when I'm reading. Now, another thing which is really good is they have a lot of different languages in the book. So you have French, you have Portuguese, you have Pidgin English, you have Yoruba, Igbo, a couple of other things. Unfortunately, there was some errors with the French. There was a couple of errors I saw with the way the French was written. But I guess it doesn't really matter because when it's written in another language, it's footnoted at the bottom of the page with the English translation. Overall, I give this a 3 stars, but I hope that, Ben, if you're watching this, do a comic book of this. A comic would be so much better. And it ends on a cliffhanger, I must tell you that. So I guess there's going to be a part 2. I don't know what else to tell you. It's an interesting read, but it's not as profound as I would have wanted it to be. Another disturbing thing was there were no badass women in this book. I mean, it's like, where were the badass women? All of the badass people were men. There were only male badasses. All the women were either prostitutes, cheating wives, or prostitutes. There were no other women in the book that did anything, or there was one woman, but her character is not in the book that long. She's only in it in 2 different areas, and she's says a small role for the moment, but I have a feeling her role is going to become more important in part 2 of the story. But other than that, there were no badass women. The women in the book were just like, you had like tons of prostitutes running through the book, but you didn't have any other women that were that interesting. So that for me was a little bit of a, yeah, because I would have liked to have seen, a badass woman in there, because, there's a lot of action-packed scenes, a lot of ass kicking and that kind of thing. But other than that, I thought it was an interesting read. I think, Ben, your project is an interesting project, but I think it should be a project that is done in a comic book form, because I think it would give more value and more weight to the book than it does in book form, because it just doesn't give it the life that you're looking for. I think a comic book form would be much better for this one. But I definitely give it 3 stars. I say if you have a chance and you want something that's kind of an escapist kind of read, pick up this one, because you might be fondly surprised by what you find. I was in the beginning, I wasn't so sure about it, I must admit, and then as I went all the way through, I said, okay, yeah, it's okay. The story is not suited for this format, which is novel format. Now, as for me, when you're watching this video, I will probably already have left to go down to south of France to relax and see my in-laws. And so this will be maybe the last review you see from me until I can get internet again. So I don't know. I will be reading all along the few days where I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone about 10 days. And hopefully if I can get internet, I will either upload my reviews to my blog or to this YouTube channel. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you're all doing well and your end of summer is going very well. We'll speak to you soon with another review really soon. Bye.